Einar, Wardruna, thanks so much for accepting to sit down with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Do you think Wardruna has had the success it has today because of your metal background, that people know your name from before?
Yeah, in the starting phase of reaching out and being heard, I think it probably played a part helping us, but I don't think it has much to much effect anymore. It was never intended to be for the metal audience or for any specific audience. When I started doing this, I did it for myself. I did it because I had a need to do it. I put very little effort into thinking or reflection around who was going to like my music or not.
You started building this trilogy with albums that are focusing on the runic system, and you divided it in 888, I think, or something like that. How do you find the right combination between what instruments to use for each of the runes that you're singing about?
You need to know, like I said, what do we know about these runes, the symbolic value of them, etc. You know, some of the runes have very specific meaning and very specific space. So if I know that this song I should use torches, then I start with that, and I see where that takes me. I try to be very free. I have no limitations on how Wardruna should and should not sound. I'm not limited to being authentic or whatever. So in many ways you can say that it's the subjects that I'm working with that is the composer and I'm the instrument.
You also told us that you worked on building your own instruments when needed. So I guess the building process was demanded by your vision about the runes, that instrument was not available, so you had to...
Yeah, well, digging in like the instrument history of the Nordic countries, I came across different instruments that really sounded amazing, and yeah, I just had to have. And being a drummer, I didn't have any experience working with these instruments, so I had to start like the long process of finding information and finding someone who could build them, and if not, I had to build it myself. So it's been a really long process, and the first album I spent 7 years making.
Seriously?
And a lot of it was because of that. I really like the bowed instruments I use for just playing. When I compose music, I feel that's a really important ingredient, and I really like the goat horn. I think it has a really unique sound, melancholic, sorrowful, beautiful sound. But if I really enjoy singing, so and then I use the harp, my lyre, and yeah, I think those three are my favorites.
Is it very difficult to play the goat horn?
It can be, depending on the horn. You need a good horn, and it's played kind of like you play a trumpet. You blow it in the same way, and but hitting the right notes and intonation is challenging.
But also, I think, I'm not sure if in the trumpet you use your fingers at the other end to control the vibration.
Yeah, the vibration, and you get the half note by doing that.
Would you be able to teach somebody now?
The deepest wells of knowledge are always hard to access, but I do do classes on together with both alone and together with runologist Lars Magnar Enoksen on we do weekend workshops where we actually teach people how to teach themselves the oral arts of both Galder and Seid.
A few years ago at Inferno, you had this amazing concert at the Viking Ship Museum. Why didn't it become a tradition?
Ask Inferno.
Dom